featuring JL, Joey Cool, and Info Gates with Ghetto Celebrity. And music from Chan Hayes featuring Ed O.G., Rex, Sky Zoo, and Brittany Smith. That was Freedom. This is the Urban Suite, KMOD, Mod Snap Radio, D Major, Cheryl Meadow with you. And we are getting into our second hour, our second open mic session for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Ricky Versetti. How are you doing tonight?
D Major, how you doing, man? It's great to be here. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming through, man. Let's get into a little bit of history.
Okay, let's see.
From what I'm just reading, originally from Ennis.
I'm from Ennis, Texas. Yes, yeah. Ennis, Texas. It's about 20 miles south of Dallas, for those that don't know. So I'm from the DFW, from the Metroplex.
Word.
Yeah, from the Metroplex.
Man, how was it growing up in that area?
You know what? The way my life turned out, man, it was pretty interesting because we started off. I lived in Ennis until I was a freshman.
Word.
So it was, the typical diverse crowd, and I played a lot of sports, and I was a kid. My freshman year, we made a drastic move, and we actually moved to Mexico.
Word.
Yeah, and when I moved to Mexico, I'm really connected to my Hispanic roots, like really, deeply connected to my Hispanic roots.
Word.
I actually learned Spanish was my first language. Then I learned English. My parents both, it's nothing but Spanish at the house. But moving to Mexico was still a culture shock to me. Like, it was drastic, and coming from this diverse area where everybody was just so mixed, going into such a concentrated area, it just really kind of blew my mind. And the people were just so different, and they treated me different because they could tell that I wasn't from around there.
Right.
So it was an interesting transition nonetheless.
What part of Mexico, actually?
Piedras Negras, Coahuila, which is the border, which is about 2.5 hours from here. Eagle Pass and Piedras Negras.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a border town. So border towns are pretty notorious right now as far as, a lot of the activity that's going on over there. A lot of it happens on the borders because that's where, that's the passageway into the States.
Right.
So being there, I got to see a lot of interesting things.
Yeah.
That I wasn't used to seeing in the Dallas area nonetheless.
Man.
But it was, and it still has a big chunk of my heart though. I mean, that's, I have a lot of friends still, that I still, keep in touch with, and I still go back there just to capture that energy, that energy from home. I still love it. I love it.
And in what ways do you think that experience from being there from freshman on up kind of helped shape and expose you to a lot of things? How do you think that kind of affected you?
That actually affected me a lot. When I made the transition from living in the Dallas area, I was just a sporty man. I played nothing but sports.
Yeah.
Everybody thought I was gonna go on to do something in baseball. That was like my main sport. I played a lot of baseball, and then I just got tired of it. But music was something that I always loved.
Yeah.
And that that helped throughout everything that I had to go through.
From what age kind of sparked your interest in music? From what age on up?
As far as back as I could remember, it was always music. Like I was never that kid that watched a lot of TV. I was a kid that was always listening to the radio, and it's crazy because my mom, who my mom, may she rest in peace, she had a boombox back in the day. Word. And I used to love to jam that, the old school boombox, the square boomboxes. She had one of those, man. I used to always have to steal it.
Okay.
Because she would get mad. My mom used to get mad because I would want to listen to her radio. And I just always had it. And I remember the first actual cassette that they got me, because we used to listen to cassettes back in the day. It was Richie Valens, La Bamba, the soundtrack for La Bamba.
Yeah.
And man, I used to play the hell out of that album. And my mom used to hate it.
Used to hate
she used to hate that I was always hogging up her radio. I would never let her hear her radio. So she was always, we were always fighting for that one radio. We didn't have a bunch of radios in the house. We had one radio, and I wanted to listen to it. She wanted to listen to it. So we were always fighting for the radio. Eventually, I guess they saw how much music was of importance to me that I got my own radio. That it was a Christmas present. I got my Walkman.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it was a big deal to me. And that Walkman, man, I remember we had this old school console, like an 8-track console, and it was like one of those reporter Walkmans that you would like press record and they would like take the interviews with.
Yeah.
And I would put it up to that console and I would record songs off of the radio. And that was me.
Man,
you know,
that's going
yeah.
back.
And I would like put it on and I would jam out all night. So music was always just, it was in the forefront of everything I did. Music was always what drove me to, even in sports, music. It got me to where I needed to be. It was always music. And then I joined the band in 6th grade. So
what'd you play?
I played tenor sax. I played the tenor sax.
Shut up, so did he. Or alto.
No, alto and baritone when I got that.
It's funny that you say that. I just had a meeting with Michael Esparza, man, a Grammy Award-winning engineer.
Yes.
And he's gonna take on one of my projects. But shout out to Mike, man, for that. Love you for that. He was talking about he plays the alto too.
Mm-hmm.
He played the alto, and Mike is a little old dude.
Yeah.
And he said when he started marching, he was dragging around a baritone.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that you gotta have some strength to try to carry that thing around.
That's a bit, baritone. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know what the baritone saxophone is that aren't musicians. That's a big ass saxophone.
That's a big saxophone,
Yeah.
and you got to have some little back brace, little arm strength. The neck cord it only holds so much. You gotta be able to handle that thing.
Yeah. I had a friend that played it, man. I never got to actually experience the baritone, but I saw that you had to have some manpower to do that. You had to have some strength.
Okay, so your mom's ghetto blaster, her boombox. How many D batteries did it take?
You know what? Now that you say that, it might have been the issue right there. That might have been why. I want to say it took maybe it had like 2 rows of 5, maybe 10 some batteries or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I remember it was 2 rows, and there was at least 5 big batteries in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might have been why she used to get mad now that you say that, man. You open up another perspective.
That's fun, especially when you're trying to run 2 decks at the same time. Man, that's going back. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into Wine and Dine.
Yeah.
What went into the recording and production of this particular track?
So this track was produced by Ace One.
Yes.
Ace, man, I love Ace. As me and Ace have this chemistry, and this was a track actually that I had written a while back.
Mm-hmm.
And Ace has this magic touch that everything he does with my music, I'm just like, damn, how did you know? How did you know that's what I wanted? So I took this track to him and I was like, Ace, what can you do with this?
Mm-hmm.
And he came up with this, and I was just blown away. And we filmed the video to it, so they can, y'all can check out the video to it on YouTube and everything.
No, great job with the video, great job with the song.
Thank you. The video was actually shot in 4 hours on Easter Sunday. And it was all done, we came up with the idea of it on Friday. We shot it on Sunday in 4 hours, drove all the way to Dallas, and then shot it 4 hours and drove all the way back.
Wow.
And then I got the first edit on Tuesday.
Wow, that's fast work.
Yeah, Ryan Bazan.
That's really fast work.
Yeah, Ryan Bazan Films, man. Shout out to Ryan. He's great.
Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Music from Ricky Versetti. This is Wine and Dine. Keep it locked. Do not go anywhere. This is the Urban Suite KMOD, My Snap Radio.